Welcome back to ESPN College Football, presented by McDonald's. A great look on the yard here at Grambling State University. We also had a chance to tour inside the Eddie G. Robinson Museum earlier today, and we'll have you get a in-depth look, a closer look inside later in our broadcast. But I was truly blown away, Jay, with just the story of Eddie Robinson and the legacy and tradition. You hear about it, and then you're humbled by it when you walk inside.
When you walk in there, it just means something. And I always like to say Grambling was in the football business before everybody else was in the business of football. And I joke that it could be called Eddie Robinson University, but he's meant so much to this part of the state of Louisiana. Darquez
Brunton on the return. The freshman still on his feet past the 30-yard line, and that's where Jeremy Hickbottom will try to engineer a drive here for the Tigers to perhaps answer.
They need to answer because the defense has done the job. Offensively, they've had opportunities, but there hasn't been a sense of urgency from the wide receivers yet. Quarterback Hickbottom, he's just like the advertisement scouting report. He's some really good, and sometimes he'll be really bad. They need to put it together. Right now, there's no margin for error, as we talked about in the open for Grambling. Your season is on the line every week, and they need to come through right now to be a great time to get started.
Hickbottom back to pass, going for it all. He has a man, and it's brought in. The catch is good by Richardson.
And that's the ball that he dropped to end the first half. Well, Richardson comes up big this time, the big play that the Tigers needed.
A huge gain on that one, good for 42. Now they're in Braves territory. The handoff to Kevin Dominique, and Dominique with a strong run on first down.
Take a look at this bomb from Hickbottom. Knows he's going to get rushed, but still has the accuracy to throw a catchable ball. And this is just outright speed by Richardson. Gets behind the cornerback and the safety, lays out for it for the big play.
And you like it. You talked about, Jay, some of those passes thrown from Jeremy Hickbottom were drops. This one was an all-important catch for Richardson as Jacorian Wren is being helped up, and he trots off the field. He's one of those guys, a JUCO transfer, can help set the edge for the Braves defense. And so now Hickbottom will continue to try to carve apart the Braves D.
And them losing Wren, that's big. He's their starting defensive end, sets the edge, and Grambling's starting to have some success running the ball to the outside.
He had a man flanking out. That's Donald Johnson. Johnson with nowhere to go, and he was quickly met. A great tackle there and pursuit from Jawan Taylor.
That is how you make an open field tackle. You had a speedy receiver in Johnson in the open field, and watch number 21, Jawan Taylor, not fall for the shakes, lower the shoulder, wrap up, bring down the ball carrier.
They're really high on him. The coaches really like Jawan Taylor's work ethic, and just what he brings to the field makes guys better. Now 2nd and 10 for the Tigers. 4 wide receivers. Hickbottom rolling to his left, holds on to it, and is met by a few white jerseys. In pursuit was Chris Hart along with Solomon Muhammad.
There goes Solomon Muhammad again. We know he's a ball hawk. Tracking down the quarterback. And key time right here for Hickbottom. You're only down by 3. You're in field goal range. Protect the football first and foremost, but get the most out of your pre-snap reads. Look for a mismatch in attack.
Well, he had the ball delivered right there, but better defense from the Braves. In on the breakup was Javen Morrison. So 4th down, and Miguel Mendez is on to attempt the 29-yard field goal. Correction, 34-yard field goal. Snap, hold are good. It's up and no good. Mendez misses an opportunity, and so after that terrific catch from Richardson, the Tigers not able to get any points. Fred McNair and the Alcorn State Braves holding tight to a 3-point lead. Well, you know, Fred McNair is the original Air McNair. His brother,
however,
Steve, is heir to McNair. And look, the numbers that you see there, 15,000 career yards. Amazing compared to Doug Williams, who was also a great here at Grambling State. On the first play of this drive, the reception is good and complete to Radarius Anderson for 24 yards. But you had a chance to speak with Doug Williams at the half. Two terrific quarterbacks.
Now let's clarify some things.
Okay.
Doug Williams played quarterback when they ran a wing T, right? So Eddie Robinson was famous for the wing T. So for you to be a wing T quarterback, still get drafted in the first round of the NFL draft. And Steve McNair, I mean, he was spread offense before spread offense. It was drop back, run it, do it all. One of the greatest, probably the greatest dual threat college quarterback.
Number 11 offense not set prior to the snap. That's a 5-yard penalty, still first down.
And Jay, I remember you did a Gimme 5 list about some of the quarterbacks that were before their time, and Steve McNair was one of them.
Steve McNair on that list, Randall Cunningham on that list. And I mean, now you see McNair getting some talk about he might have been the greatest college quarterback of all time, and it'd be hard to argue that point.
Harper trying to be another great in this Braves offense. Pass complete to Blair.
And that's when they start rolling. A good offense will take a 10-yard pattern and just make it look easy. That looked like an easy throw and catch, but a lot of things had to go correct to get to that point. Recognizing the defense, a good route by the receivers, nice depth, nice protection. See if Alcorn can establish some offensive momentum.
Harper trying to go at it once more, finds Blair. Down the seam, ball comes out at the end, and it's on the, they say it's on the ground, so no fumble. The line judge says it was on the ground.
As the runner was down prior to the ball
Alcorn's going to try and hurry up and get to the line of
down.
scrimmage, so they can't take a look at this. but I would slow him up if I were Grambling. You at least want to have an opportunity for this to be reviewed. Got the football. Ground might have caused that.
I think the ground may have caused it. Devanir Martin on the tackle. Pickup of 26, so it's ruled a catch. We'll see if a review comes down. And no. Braves keep going. Harper making a tough throw as he rolled out to his left, but he had a defender in his face.
And they do a good job of rolling Felix Harper to his left. And so often you won't get credit for that as a coordinator, but if you have a left-handed thrower, he'd much rather run to his left and have the ability to scramble to his left than it would be if he was going against his right. And we've seen them do a good job of calling to the strengths of Felix Harper.
Harper gets it out, but it was deflected at the line of scrimmage. Grambling State Tigers, Keenan Fontenot was able to get a hand on it.
Like a true heavyweight fight, we've seen big plays, but each one of these defenses has managed to do a pretty good job of keeping the opposing offense out of the board when they get down on this side of the field. Grambling trying to see if they can force another field goal attempt. Bend but don't break defense on full display here.
I keep mentioning the two top defenses in the league. A big third down here. Harper stands in, and it's intercepted! Second interception of the day for the Tigers. Fontenot brings it in. And that's Xavier Lodge, excuse me, the redshirt freshman out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Didn't play last week because of concussion, but here comes up with the INT.
In the center of your screen, reading his eyes, he's looking, the ball's coming this way, and sometimes as a safety, you're saying, is he really gonna throw the ball where I think he is? He was looking him down the whole way. Lodge went over and came up with a huge interception on the 3-yard line, and then added some return yards for good measure. He never looked him away. We saw from that first look, he stared down the receiver the whole time, and Lodge eyed him, got the interception.
Now the first down run from Keelan Elder, and a marker is out as Elder had nowhere to go.
Holding, 78 offense, 10 yards from the previous spot, first down.
But Jay, I can't stop talking about this Grambling State defense because they have been so good this year with taking away the football. It's a point of emphasis for this group, and they have done a terrific job. 15 INTs on the season, 2 here today. But their defense is hopeful that Elder can help get the team out of deep in their own territory and move this football.
Yeah, that's a great individual effort there. The Alcorn defense sniffed that play out from the start, but good job at Elder to pick up some positive yardage when it looked like he was going to lose some yards. Look how many white jerseys are attacking this football. It's supposed to be a screen. He's got the 1. Here comes Burks 2. Here comes 3. Great job of running by Elder.
Second and long still. Hickbottom got to get out of that end zone, and he may have gone down just at the goal line, but there's Laundry on the field. Malik Holbert was the one bringing some pressure, bringing him down.
Oh, what a bailout. Hands to the face on the defense, which would be a first down. And I would tell you, Grambling desperately needed this, because if they had to punt the ball that quickly as well as their defense has played, that takes a lot out of your football team. And they got a fortunate call there when they really needed one.
And so instead of being down on their own goal line, they're out to the 28-yard line. 1st and 10, fresh set of downs. Hickbottom rolling, finds Elder. Elder being tracked down by Solomon Muhammad. He was the first to get to him, and then some Braves decide to help out. Pick up of 8.
And the timing was there. That was good rhythm in the passing game. Play action pass, bootleg, get it to your receiver, to run it back out of the backfield in stride, allow him to pick up some good yardage on 1st down.
Handoff this time is to Brunton, and Brunton with a few. Direction, lost 2 on that.
Solomon Muhammad, that linebacker extraordinaire from Birmingham, Alabama. I mean, we've seen him. He's just been throwing wood all over the football field. He's got a lot of thump, and he's the anchor for that defense.
3rd and 4. Hickbottom back to pass, has a man, finds Kobe Ross. First time Kobe Ross, we've called his name today, the redshirt junior out of Decatur, Georgia. Pickup of 16 and moving those chains.
Nice throw from Hickbottom. Nice blocking up front by the offensive line. Nice executed play for Grambling.
Quickly out, finds Elder, and Elder with nowhere to go. Burks was one of the guys that was there, and a flag is out.
Probably a holding on one of the wide receivers. Maybe Lyndon Rash, number 10.
Holding.
Well, I think that's what Jesse Harris was saying. He just had some technical difficulties with the mic, but for you to, come up with some big plays, you can't make mistakes like that and shoot yourselves in the foot and go backwards.
Yeah, self-inflicted. That play is just not a good play. You're going to have success on it. They've tried a couple times to get that screen coming out of the backfield. Alcorn State's just too fast defensively. They're swarming to the ball. Now you have to set up a play to maybe do a pump and go on that type of play.
Darquez, Brunton, they try to go to the same play. Dalen Burks, a sure tackle there.
I just think you have to realize your wide receiver core, they don't block well enough to get those big plays down there. We've seen other teams throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage. You get a big block from your wide receivers, and it's a big play. We're yet to see Grambling have the physicality needed to pull off those type of big plays.
2nd and long.
They're running across formation. Oh, they don't.
Hickbottom with time, being chased down, and he's brought down finally by big number 92, Key Wayne Jones, the freshman out of Natchez, Mississippi. Key Wayne Jones, one of those interesting stories for the Braves. Number 92 in white, walk on as an old lineman. Then Coach Cedric Thornton, the D coordinator, said, I'm gonna use him on the other side. We need some bodies over there. And they feel like he is one that can develop into a solid player for them up front. And a great 3rd down opportunity, but an interception there from Quinterio Cole. Cole for the Braves. Hickbottom had his man, too high for him, tipped, and Cole was able to collect it.
And this should have been a big play for Grambling State. Alcorn brought the pressure. When you get blitz, it's man-to-man coverage. They had a crossing route call coming across the formation. High, hard throw, receiver not able to hold on to it, and Quinterio Cole hits him for the INT. I mean, when they blitz, as a quarterback, you want to have them blitz and know I have it protected when it's man-to-man coverage.
After the play, with personal foul, 19, Grambling, number 19, has disqualified.
Wow.
Whoa.
50 yards from the end of the run. 1st down.
That is Hickbottom. The quarterback has been ejected from this game. I saw him get into an altercation with the lineman afterwards. Maybe he was just frustrated with the interception. But there with a better throw, that's an opportunity for a big play in the 1st down. But on the right side of your screen coming in, You see that there, just not able to hold on to it, going to Rash. Cole was right there. You can't lose your cool as a quarterback. When you have an interception, of course the defense is going to talk a lot of trash to you and say some things. You just have to turn around, go to your bench, and say you'll get them the next time. 3-point ball game, and you get thrown out, really doing a disservice to your team over a selfish play, which is a personal foul.
So a huge loss for Grambling State, but a wonderful opportunity if you're a Braves fan. Raydarius Anderson collects the catch, brought down by Joseph McWilliams, and we will be interested to see how that plays out for the remainder of the ball game. But if you're Alcorn State, you're like, I smell blood. Let's take this opportunity and let's put up some more points. The RPO from Felix Harper, and Harper able to get to the first down and more.
I've been talking about Grambling not having a sense of urgency blocking with their wide receivers. I want you to watch number 81, Raydarius Anderson, on this simple play as you see Hickbottom going to the locker room.
Play didn't net anything, but you go back to that block, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, this is how you block somebody. You're going to see at the top of your screen, number 81, turns around. Now I'm not getting the football. Watch him finish the block. I got him, I got him, I got him. Pushes him out of bounds. That's a sense of urgency blocking. Have we seen Grambling wide receivers push anybody out of bounds, take them to the ground? It's hard. It's all hard. That's what I'm saying. And sometimes you got to question, where's that G-man hard where I'm going to finish you, whereas Alcorn is doing the little things.
Whistle dead before the play got started.
Illegal snap. Number 77 offense. That's a 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Well, the Braves centers have had a few miscues here today. Joseph Milburn and Mustafa Ibrahim have switched in and out throughout the game. We've seen some tough snaps in there, and an illegal snap called on them. Backed up 5 yards. Harper has to get the ball away with pressure coming from behind, and he's brought down. Wesley Green, the red shirt sophomore out of DeSoto, Texas, and he's still down.
And we're nitpicking on the centers, but that play doesn't have a chance because of the low snap. Again, you just talked about it. When I've got a sprint call to the right, watch for this ball snap. It's down away from him to his left. He knows he has to go right. That extra step leaves him vulnerable. Big play from Wesley Green. Alcorn struggling at that center position, and that doesn't show up in your stat sheet. Nowhere there does it show bad center exchange, but it's big, and we saw how it's showing up in the game.
And Wesley Green, the nose tackle.
Mean Green, they call him.
Mean Green, sitting at 6 feet, 300 pounds, is being helped to his feet. Meanwhile, on the sideline, Charles Wright, number 3 in black, will have to assume the role of quarterback for the Tigers. As we mentioned, Jeremy Hickbottom disqualified from this one. So Wright warming up, and we'll see what the backup can do when it's his turn. 3rd and 21 on the way for the Braves.
Just trying to pick up 10 yards here if you can. Get yourself in better field goal range. Right now, I think they're about at the limit of their kicker.
They hand it off to Nico Duffy. Duffy trying to spring himself to the outside, trying to use some of that speed, but caught up by Damian Crumity. Crumity tracked him down from behind. And now you're moving to the left hash for the Braves.
And that's a good job. They called that play, running to the left, so they would get the ball on the left hash. Maybe the kicker has a little bit more power when he's going from left to right compared to trying to pull it right to left.
A 41-yard attempt for Corey McCullough. His long of the season was a 44-yarder. This to extend the lead. It's up, and it's right down the middle. Corey McCullough converts, and Alcorn State goes up 16-10 on the road.
NFL Primetime is back. Primetime's available Sunday through Wednesday only on ESPN+. NFL Primetime is back. Primetime's available Sunday through Wednesday only on ESPN+.
Patrick Mahomes is back. That's all I care about. That's all I'm going to say, Jay.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, but Patrick Mahomes, you know, you're around me all the time. The most overused term we always hear about, oh, he's got arm talent. Patrick Mahomes is talented arm.
Well, Jeremy Hickbottom is out of this ball game, as we mentioned, unsportsmanlike penalty.
Kick it out of bounds.
And they kick it out of bounds on Alcorn State. But now the question is, what will this Grambling State offense look like without Hickbottom and Charles Wright coming in to play quarterback? The fifth-year senior, out of Monroe, Louisiana, just down the road.
Yes, 6 feet, 190 pounds. More of a runner than he is a thrower, so I think you'll see a lot more RPO, and maybe that's what you need in this football game. He can throw the football. We're not saying that. However, when he's in the game, you got to move the pocket a little bit more. He's got his limitations because of his size, but he's a better runner than Hickbottom.
Seen action in 5 games this season, and you see immediately chucking it and running. Solomon Muhammad was there to hit that hammer.
Hello. You want to come in here and be the running quarterback and run up the middle? Big Darrell Henderson, number 51, and Chris Monroe, 61, hold him up, and Muhammad lays a block on him. But welcome to the game here. Quarterback draw. Watch Muhammad. I'll meet you in the hole, homeboy. Wow.
And some movement up front.
And how often do we see this happen? Different voice back there, different snap count. Start to see the illegal procedure penalties.
Still second down.
Well, this is definitely going to be an adjustment for the Tigers. Wright did get in for a little bit against Texas Southern last weekend.
Everybody play.
Yeah, everybody. Well, when you put up 55 points, then yes, you will get to play.
Now we get to see if he's any good.
Wright is good when he's got the ball in his hands, takes the punishment, but stays on top. And at the 40-yard line, he's brought down by Quinterio Cole, and slow to get up is the Braves' number 58, Malik Holbert, their starting defensive end.
Watch number 86 in your slot in the middle of your screen right now. He's open. He's open. But running quarterback, I'm taking off. How many times have we seen Grambling have open wide receivers but quarterbacks not find them? I know it's frustrating the offensive coordinator, Mark Orlando, because he's calling the plays, but they're just not executing.
Right with time, and just misses his man, Donald Johnson.
Open. Crossing route was open. That effort just wasn't there. I don't know why Charles Wright didn't step into that throw to see Johnson coming across the formation, which would have been a first down easily. Grambling's in trouble right now.
Well, I'll tell you this. You know, they started out the year playing some tough FBS opponents, and they battled through a lot of injuries. So they've had to overcome some tough things. And this is one of those in-game adjustments where they have to see what they're made of right here. As this is an important SWAT game and really nowhere to go for LaCharles Pringle. He tried to outshake some black jerseys, but they brought him down just inside the 15.
What a punt. Normally you punt it that far, you outkick your coverage, but that ball was booted.
And the flag is down near the 45 of Grambling State. 2 forced turnovers today for Grambling's defense, but they haven't been able to produce points off of it. You think about this group, Everett Todd always talks to this unit.
Personal foul, face mask, number 84 kicking team. That foul will be enforced 15 yards from the previous spot. We'll replay 4th down.
And that negates a 75-yard
Wow.
punt. That was a great punt. And it's negated. You add 15 yards to the end of it. And of course, a guy kicks a 75, you're going to make him kick it again. we will take that penalty and make him kick it again. I like the decision to kick it again because when you're up by 6, I'm sure Fred McNair's thinking if we kick another field goal, put them down by 9 the way Grambling's offense has struggled, field position game, I like the chances.
The graduate out of Gonzales, California, Miguel Mendez, was ready to punt it away, but whistles first.
Timeout. Grambling.
And a timeout taken by Grambling State.
All right, so a lot going on here. We're watching Alcorn, and Alcorn's been looking great, right? How good are they, Tiffany? It's time for my power rankings.
Oh, I like how you were able to lead into it yourself.
Let's see. Yep. How about this Southern University? They've been under the radar. They have a battle taking place right now, but they still control their own destiny after they lose to Alcorn. Number 4, South Carolina State. We saw them in person. Their 2 losses, Florida A&M, Bethune-Cookman. Those are really, really close losses there. Number 3, we got to talk about this.
Yeah.
Can't do it right now, but North Carolina A&T. And we'll let you know who's 2-1 after the kick.
Ooh. You want to take my job? Another booming kick, though, from Mendez. Doesn't go as far, but certainly, given where they were, he flipped the field. So let's go back to those 2-1.
Yeah,
Jay?
we know A&T's going to fall because they lost today. How about this? Go ahead. Are you feeling proud, Miss Rattler?
You know, Florida A&M is still undefeated in the MEAC.
And they've beaten the teams they needed to beat.
They've beaten all the teams currently below them.
That's true. That's good. The number 1 team, we're watching it. They're on the ropes. Alcorn State University is on the ropes. So we'll see if they can hold on to that ranking there.
I think there's going to be some
I'm going
shifts
Bowie
there.
State on the bubble.
Okay.
Give them some love.
Give them some love.
Undefeated champions of the CIAA. Coach Damon Wilson and his Bulldogs continue to win. They've probably been the most impressive Division II program I've seen in quite some time. I'm going to put them on the list.
All right, those were Jay's power rankings, and this is the end of the third quarter here from this SWAC matchup. Alcorn State Braves trying to remain perfect in the conference. They lead going into the final period.
ESPN College Football is presented by McDonald's. ESPN College Football is presented by McDonald's.
As promised, we would take you inside the Eddie G. Robinson Museum. The Hall of Fame coach was here for 57 years, leading the G-men to 17 SWAC titles, 9 Black College Football National Championships as we get underway here in this fourth quarter. And when you go around campus, Jay, you see Eddie Robinson everywhere. His face, his name, they don't let you forget just what he meant.
Yeah, the stadium, the practice facility, the museum, the streets. Did a lot for this part of Louisiana, and he's appreciative of it. He and his wife, Doris, as well.
And I love that you said before, one wife, one job.
One school.
One school.
#1 all-time winningest coach. A lot of number ones there with Eddie Robinson and the tradition that he instilled in the G that you're seeing right there in midfield. Probably the most recognizable symbol in Black college football.
First program on television. We take it for granted now to see them on, but it was Eddie Robinson who helped start that trend for Black college football. 3rd and 3 for Alcorn State, and tried to just dart it in there to Rodarius Anderson, but broken up by Joseph McWilliams. 4th down.
Good job by McWilliams on the slant route there. Played some bump and run coverage. Grambling, a school that produced Willie Brown, defensive back, known for his bump and run with the Raiders. Good job by McWilliams. And rest in peace to the Grambling family. Just lost Willie Brown recently.
Well, those 4 Hall of Famers you mentioned, Jay.
And also want to Send our sympathies to the Alcorn State family. Coach Michael Fontroy played at Alcorn, coached there as well, lost his battle this week.
And this one pops in and out of the hand of Martin. We'll see what the officials say. Alcorn State saying, we got it. And the Braves do have it, but there's a marker out.
I think the marker is going to be for pulling somebody off the pile, which is being regulated heavily by the NCAA this year. But and there's another penalty. What is going on? Those refs are talking. They throw a penalty on another official. That'd be funny. Lots to talk about here. I think ultimately comes down to it was muffed who recovered. I'm taking a look, see, does he have room to make the catch?
Yes. And then recovered quickly by Keontae Everett, the fifth-year senior, wrapping it up.
And then you start to see the penalty flags fly. So you have the feeling that Alcorn's going to get this football. It's a matter of will they get a little bit closer to the end zone or further away. Now,
Kick catch interference.
Wow.
Kicking team, number 91. Ball.
so Grambling will keep it.
I want to take another look at this. Okay.
Let's see. You're supposed to give him a little halo.
Warning.
91
Alcorn.
comes in late. Oh, wow.
Oh, no. You could be a couple yards away, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that is a tough one. I don't think I saw what the officials saw. I'll say that.
Let's keep the game interesting. We don't want to end like that. You know, I'm the football player in me. We don't end games on special teams, play muff punts. So Grambling, take advantage of it. You're still in the football game because of that tough break call. Let's see if they can find some energy with their quarterback in the game now.
The handoff. And Justin Richard seeing his first action of the game, and the sophomore with a good run on first down. And you've got to think that even though they haven't executed maybe all the way they would have liked, Broderick Favre says if we execute and hold on to the football, we can win this game. And if they keep it on the ground and maybe get something going there, you can sustain a drive.
Yeah, because coming in, we thought that Alcorn had more firepower than Grambling. Why did Grambling have a chance where their defense could be a championship defense? They've slowed down Alcorn. Grambling had to win an ugly game, and this game has gotten ugly. The defenses have been hitting, offenses have struggled. So if it's an ugly game, all you need is one big play, one fantastic individual effort, and your team can gain the lead.
And some movement up front as flags fly out.
False start. 75 offense. That's the 5-yard replay, second down.
Take a look here at the right guard position there. The false start, caught him moving. That's big William Waddell, the 6'2" 300-pounder from Tallahassee, Leon High School. I know about Tallahassee, Leon.
Yeah.
Terry Mickens went to Tallahassee, Leon.
That's right. And where did he go to college?
He went to that Florida Agricultural Mechanical.
Oh, okay. Another shout out there. Right, just going backward, not the right way. He's got to let it go instead. Holds on to it. A collision, and he's brought down. There was Solomon Muhammad once more laying the wood. And Charles Wright saying, hello.
And this is the difference in the backup and the starter. This is the screen pass designed all the way by the screen. They don't fool anybody. Once you see that, get rid of it. Trying to move. He was fortunate that wasn't a 15-yard loss, but watch Muhammad. He likes hitting people.
He likes to come off and be the finisher.
Yeah, especially hitting the quarterback. Every linebacker likes that.
But credit Theron Bonds for bringing the immediate or initial pressure, rather. and up the middle, and Bonds got to him again, but Wright was able to get the ball away and finds Lyndon Rash.
And let's see, what do you do now? I'm wondering, what do you do if you don't go for it here? You picked up 14 yards there. It's 4th and 3. You cross midfield. You're on the ropes, unconventional. I think you go for it in this situation here.
Instead, Broderick Fobb sends out his punting unit. So you still have a little over 11 minutes to go, and you can perhaps rely on your defense a little bit more. Again, they're really good in taking the football away, maybe, you know, try to turn them over.
It's been a championship-style defense. It has been good enough, but I don't know if your offense is going to get another shot, you know, to pick up a couple first downs.
Grambling.
They're going to talk about it.
Yeah, talk it over. And so when you have a fresh quarterback like Charles Wright, who came in this third quarter, what do you call up? What do you draw up from?
Well, it all starts with the pocket protection, so you want to make sure that they pick up any blitzes that would happen. With all that being said, it looks like Bob is going to stick to it. He's going to continue to keep the punt team on the field.
So then why spend the time out there?
The personnel, probably they didn't have the right people on the field, wanted to make sure it didn't get blocked. What you can't afford is to have a blocked punt. Alcorns come close on a couple of occasions.
Grambling only has one timeout remaining. Mendez trying to pin him deep, getting the fortunate bounce. Can they get to it in time? And they do.
Great job.
So Mendez, we've seen some really impressive punts. This time he pins the Alcorn State offense on their own 2. Stingy. Opponents have only put up 14 against them, and they have the Braves pinned deep. Can Anthony Mullins, big number 8 up front, help bring some pressure and perhaps keep the Braves off the board? Nico Duffy finds some daylight. Nico Duffy with a big run, and that's one way to give yourself some breathing room.
Huge play. That just negated the decision to punt the football. It was great special teams, pin him on the 2-yard line, but Duffy, the speedster out of Tampa, finds a crease. Big run for Alcorn State.
23-yard pickup for the running back. They go at it again, keeping it on the ground. And with Duffy, this time he's wrapped up by DeAndre McCarthy. McCarthy, who was held out the first 4 weeks with an injury, has been an impact player from his linebacker position today and all season long for the Tigers.
Imagine that. He's been back-to-back SWAC Defensive Player of the Week. They feel like had he been able to play those first 4 games, they wouldn't have gotten off to an 0-4 start. He's proven them right on the field.
Harper putting it in the air to Chris Blair, and Blair bobbled it and couldn't control it. Devonair Martin on the coverage.
They are playing old school SWAC football. Man-to-man coverage, blitzing the quarterback, make a play. Every offense has tried everything they could in this football game just to get it going, but it's just not that type of party.
And if the Braves aren't careful, they'll hand the ball right back over to Grambling State. Now 3rd and 12 for the visitors. Duffy going for LaCharles Pringle, and Pringle couldn't come up with it. Right on him was Crumity.
Crumity made some big plays later in this game after a couple defensive miscues to start. That was good defense on the man-to-man coverage. They're putting a lot of pressure on their secondary. You play that much man-to-man coverage as a quarterback, you've got to make them pay, or else they're going to start making you pay.
So Alcorn State will punt it away after they've scored 13 straight points since Grambling had that 10-3 lead. And now the Tigers find themselves with a good chance here. But we go back to that last punt with that kick-catch interference there with Devonair Martin.
And the fair catch is right there. Once he does a fair catch, he has every opportunity to catch this ball until it touches the ground. The ground. So what they're saying is, yes, he muffed it. He was going to make the catch again, but the ball never touched the ground. Alcorn can't get that ball until it touches the ground. That's why they had to call the kick coverage interference. The officials got it right. They may not like the rule, the way it's enforced, because I thought, well, if the ball's coming right at me, I have to move out the way.
Instinctually, you're going to try to get to it. Right, darts it to Richardson. Solid throw on 1st down, pickup of about 9.
Now, what you like to do, if you pick up that much yards on 1st down, you waste it down. You go for a deep ball. I'm going for a one-on-one jump ball 50-50 situation. See if we can come up with a big play.
Instead, they elect to hand it off, and Justin Richard was pushed in the wrong direction as Richard lost 1 on that one. Now 3rd and 2.
And that was just a waste play right there. Grambling State realizing Alcorn's tough to run against. Didn't want to waste it down, so let's see if it paid off and they can convert here on 3rd down.
Whistle blown.
Almost a delayed game. Did they call a timeout before that, or?
False start. 60 offense. That's a 5-yard, still 3rd down.
Left guard David Moore out of Little Rock, Arkansas. So instead of 3rd and short, you now have 3rd and 7. And how does that change your play calling again with your backup quarterback?
Completely changes it. 3rd and 2, you still have the option to run the football. 3rd and 7, obvious pass situation. The only type of run you would have would be from your quarterback possibly running it. But now they got to win some one-on-one matchups.
Right, goes once more to the outside in Richardson, and they say it's an incomplete pass. So that brings up 4th down.
It's time to bring out the punt team again. On the out route, couldn't connect. They gave him plenty of cushion on the outside, but Braylon Richardson not able to catch that ball inbounds. Forces a punt. just struggling watching this Grambling offense struggle like this. I mean, this is the home of Doug Williams, James Harris, Bruce Eugene, Kendrick Nord. Offense was always a factor here, and they shanked the punt, and things are going downhill for the Tigers quickly.
The special teams didn't necessarily work out so much in that punt. Alcorn State has the ball when we come back. Let's take a look at today's Bringing the Flavor, brought to you by McDonald's. The Braves stay ready on the road here in Grambling, Louisiana. The sounds of dynamite have been dueling back and forth with the Marching Tiger Band. This has been a fun one for sure, Jay. And still, a whole lot of football left to be played as the great defensive effort there by Jeremy Carter.
And maybe that's what Grambling's going to have to do if they want to win this football game. Maybe the defense, which has had the ability to put points on the board for the offense, can come up with a big play. You'll see Jeremy Carter not fooled by the little waggle pass coming out, gets a hand on the football and bats it away.
Alcorn State with a 6-point lead, looking to add a little extra cushion. Nico Duffy, who has run the ball well here today, up ahead just near midfield, brought down by Jeremy Carter, who was once more in on that tackle.
Finally starting to see Everett Todd get a little bit anxious, the defensive coordinator from Grambling, bringing all three linebackers close to the line of scrimmage, doing some run blitz, trying to create some havoc, trying to get a tackle for a loss. In the middle of your screen, the guy to watch is this guy right here. If you take a look at Jeremy Carter, 34, he's that weak side linebacker. They like to blitz him. He gets close to the line of scrimmage. They got him in there to bring pressure.
3rd and 7, and going to the outside, Darius Anderson, and an incomplete pass. And look, that was a quick 3 and out for Alcorn State. So you don't give your defense much of a breather at all after those 3 quick plays.
They're going at it. They're battling. Good job by the Grambling defense. When you've got two defenses, 1 and 2 in the conference for a reason, right now, offenses are struggling. I always tease the folks in the SWAC. I say, you know, in the SWAC, sometimes defense is optional. Well, today it's not optional. The offense has been optional.
On the punt. Mark catches this one, so only 41 seconds ticked off the clock for that Alcorn State drive, or excuse me, possession. But what's it going to be for Grambling State? I mean, I think that's the question that we keep answering. We knew this would be a defensive battle between the two, as you mentioned, Jay, but how do you kickstart this offense? Grambling hasn't scored any points since the 7-minute mark remaining in the second quarter.
Yeah, the defenses have been that good, but these are two offenses that each average over 30 points a game. I don't think anybody saw this coming. Grambling has to rely on their backup quarterback because Hickbottom, the starter, was ejected. They just have to see what stick, what type of play they can make.
Right, going for it, tries to throw it down the middle, and it's intercepted. Torrance Wilson comes up with it. His second INT of the season.
How did he come away with that interception?
I don't know.
It looked like Devontae Davis was going to make the catch, but he throws it up for grabs. This is a 50-50 ball. You tell your receiver, I need you to come down with it.
Oh, he swiped it away. It went through the hands of Davis and corralled by Wilson right there, just through the hands.
Through the hands, yeah. And that's why you tell your receiver.
The ruling on the field is interception. That play is under further review.
That's why you teach your wide receiver, don't let the ball come to you. You go up and grab it at its highest point. He let it come to him, and looked like Terrence Wilson swiped it away on his way to the ground.
Well, the senior out of Lakeland, Florida, could have come up with a big one for this Braves defense.
They're taking a review. Let's
After further review,
the
ruling on the field of an interception is confirmed. It'll be Alcorn's ball, 1st and 10.
That is a great play by Torrance Wilson. And now here's what you have to think. It was just like a punt.
Yeah.
It was a 40-yard throw down the field, just like a punt. Can your defense make another stop? I'd be shocked if Alcorn didn't try to force the run here a little bit.
Nico Duffy has been the workhorse today. We mentioned Deshaun Waller, who was the SWAC newcomer of the year last year. He got in for a couple of series, and since then we haven't seen him. So,
and this is his style game.
Yeah.
Physical bruising. You need the bigger back in the backfield to finish off some runs, punish some would-be tacklers, but Waller's services have been limited.
So Duffy has been the heavy-duty guy today, as Alcorn State taking their time in between each snap. Nico Duffy says, you know what, I'm going to move the chains and sustain a drive and try to keep this going, as he's brought down by Xavier Lodge.
They showed their hand too much. Grambling coming with a run blitz. Linebackers got up to the line of scrimmage and stopped. Anytime you have a linebacker that's not able to use his speed and mobility, and the defensive lineman or offensive lineman can size him up, it's going to be a tough day at the office for the linebacker. They need to delay that run blitz. Don't get to the line of scrimmage so fast before you shoot your gap responsibility.
And Duffy just trying to be patient, taking his time. And look, Jay, I think the question is, you know, who would be the team to slow up or trip up Alcorn State? And to this point, so far in the SWAC, Prairie View A&M, Mississippi Valley State, Alabama State, along with Southern, have all come up short.
And if they knock off Grambling, you can basically assure that the reservation is going to be rocking. What is that, December 6th for the SWAC championship? If they get a victory here, And Jackson State took a loss today as well. FYI, all you folks watching from the state of Mississippi, Jackson State lost to Alabama A&M.
Yeah.
The Braves are a virtual shoe-in.
Flag flies out, and as we take a look at just some of the games around the MEAC and SWAC, yeah.
This one here is big.
That one's big because...
This one here is big. We don't care about that.
Oh, of course you would say that.
This is a big one there, too. You got some big games there.
Yeah.
But how about North Carolina A&T taking the loss as well as Bethune-Cookman?
So that means that South Carolina State shoots up to the top of the MEAC. Now, of course, Florida A&M is undefeated in conference play, but they will not be able to compete in postseason.
Illegal shift. Offense, 2 men moving and not reset. That's 5-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
So in the MEAC, you've got South Carolina State with 2 losses in conference. You've got Bethune-Cookman now with 2 losses in conference. You've got North Carolina A&T with 2 losses in conference. Next week, we go to Bethune-Cookman at North Carolina A&T, which is now an elimination game.
Yes.
That'll be a 3rd loss for them. And all Buddy Pugh and the Bulldogs. And then you got the tiebreak situations, which are crazy, but South Carolina State has a tiebreak over Bethune-Cookman.
Right.
A&T has a tiebreak over South Carolina State. Oh.
There's a lot that can shake out between now and then, but this is when you start to thin, right? You start to thin and see, you know, who are the last teams standing going into the last couple weekends.
And folks talking about the SWAC, their SWAC football, Grambling needs this victory. They've got 2 losses in conference already. They're chasing Southern, which they always are. Grambling wins this game, they can find a way, then that Bayou Classic becomes special. If Grambling loses, then the Bayou doesn't have the same luster that it normally does.
3rd and 12. Can the Tigers defense come up with a stop? Chris Blair was held up all the way by Devonair Martin, and you see the marker coming out. And this one is going against the Tigers.
And
you hate to see that, though, Jay, because it's 3rd and 11.
Yeah, no, I like that. I like the play call. It's 3rd and 11. You're probably not going to get it. Throw the ball, try and give your receiver a 50-50 chance, or get a pass interference. I don't like the fact that the Grambling defensive back wasn't smart enough to realize you can't play him that long when the ball's in the air.
But I'm saying you hate to see that if you're a Tiger fan, given the fact that you had an opportunity to come up with a stop. And, again, you talked about...
There's no foul on the play.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa. Okay.
They're going to call that not catchable. Whoa.
I'm going to eat my words here.
Let's take
with
a look.
That pass interference.
On the
I thought it was.
sideline, he's wrestling him. You can ride him, but he's pushing him out of bounds. That ball was catchable.
Yeah, because it stayed inbounds. You see that right here?
Yeah.
All that Blair had to do was come over.
Oh, wow. That's a catchable ball. I'm sorry. If he's not bumping him and riding him like that, I think that's a catchable ball there. Grambling has hope again.
Well, the Tigers are fortunate with the no call there. And they almost got to the punter. And this one bounces into the end zone for the touchback. So this should be an entertaining final 3 minutes and 51 seconds from Grambling, Louisiana. Last year in Lorman, between these two, crowd of over 10,000. Alcorn led 23-13 at the half. Then Jeremy Hickbottom with a 24-yard touchdown run in the third. This would tie the game at 23-all. Then in the final minute, that's when it came down to this. Noah Johnson to Chris Blair with 12 seconds remaining, and Alcorn State got their first win over Grambling State at home since 1997. And now we find ourselves here with these standings shaking out like this. Alcorn State trying to remain perfect in the SWAC. Grambling State holding on to an opportunity of dear life to stay alive in the SWAC West. Charles Wright, the backup quarterback, trying to move this team down the field, engineer a drive, and perhaps tie the ball game or take the lead.
It's time to get Charles Wright on the perimeter. You're asking your backup quarterback to come in there and become a pocket passer with a lot of pressure. I'd move the pocket, see if he can make a play outside of it.
Wright sees his receiver go down, Lyndon Rash, and a late flag comes out from the field judge. Ooh.
It's like the back judge looked at the field judge to the umpire. What did you all see? And, you know, here's the thing to get you. So they picked up a flag earlier because they said for Alcorn it was an uncatchable pass.
Right.
This ball was a lot more uncatchable than the ball that we just picked up. I'd be shocked if they don't pick up this flag. If they don't, but we've seen crazier things happen here, and they're trying to talk it out. Let's see what they say.
There's no foul on the play.
Yeah. You can't do one and then do the other one.
Roderick Phelps not happy.
I mean, there's some contact there, but the ball was up in the air. I mean, look where that ball was, 10, 15 yards up. But my thing is, if they would have kept both of them, I'd have said, okay. But if you get rid of one, I think the right thing is you have to pick up the other one as well.
So now an important 3rd and 8. You know this is 2-down territory. Wright trying to get out in space. Wright holding the ball. What a great block. And it's sprung Charles Wright. Wow. Keelan Elder. How about an attaboy there for that block?
Oh, this may be the block that keeps their season going. Solomon Muhammad, he sees the quarterback in his tracks. He's going to come up, make a tackle. No, you're not. Elder putting his body on the line to sacrifice to spring his quarterback for the first down run.
18-yard pickup now at midfield for the Tigers. Wright finds Johnson. Johnson with a nice screen. And again, another first down for the Tigers. Pickup of 11.
Great job by the right side of the line. McLeod and Waddell, number 61 and 75 on the wide receiver screen. And they've got Alcorn on the ropes, and the SWAC East champions are going to get a TO, baby. They need some oxygen.
This place is ramping up. The drive started with the Braves chop. And then after a couple of first downs, now the Tigers like, wait a minute, we're going to take over the sounds in here.
What do they say? Hold that Tigers, what they like to play down here in Grambling land. These folks here are showing the pride of what it means to be part of the Graham fam.
We talked about the great finish last year. Hold on, folks, because another one could be on the way. 2:45 remaining. 1st and 10 for Grambling State. Charles Wright calls his own number. Good pickup on first down.
Good job. Picked up positive yards in the running game. 2nd and manageable. Now let's see if they take that deep shot here. You had the yardage you needed on first down.
The clock is stopped. with an injured Brave on the field. That's Shakorian Ring. We saw Ring go down earlier, but let's look at the timeout situation for both teams. 2 timeouts for Alcorn State. Grambling State with only 1 remaining.
As you said early in the drive, it's 4-down territory. It's do or die. So the 1 timeout, that shouldn't become a factor as long as Grambling has the ball. If they don't pick up a first down, then that'll pretty much be ball game. But 2 minutes in a college situation when you can get first downs, when the clock stops after you get a first down, it's an eternity. It's an eternity. So timeout's not really a factor, but the factor right now is how can Coach Fobbs, Tigers, figure out a way to get the ball in the end zone to get the lead and try to hold on for a home victory here at the Rob. Start calling it the Rob.
The Rob. What I think is so interesting, you talk about they start the season 0-4, like we mentioned, and then there's been a resurgence. Broderick Fobbs has seen his group turn things around in spite of injuries, in spite of his starting quarterback being disqualified in the 3rd quarter. Now Charles Wright has a chance to architect this drive. Keelan Elder on the carry.
That's been the look they've done. The bunch formation to the right, they're going to run it to the left. And when they go bunch left, they end up running it right across the formation. But let's see if they don't go with that crossing route they've had success running. Bringing somebody all the way across the formation, hitting the crossing route or the drive route as we used to call it.
Got to pick up 3. They pass it out to the outside and diving for it. Great effort by Elder. We'll see where they mark it.
That was a football play. That was great defense. They blew up the would-be blockers, but a fantastic effort by Elder. Leans forward to give him the first down. He extended. Take a look. Watch the defensive backs from Alcorn. Blow him up. That's what you do. Blow him up, recognize. I think he got just enough to get the first down. Way to stretch that ball out.
Going for it. He's got a man in the end zone. Touchdown, Grambling State.
What do you see here? The go route in between the safety and the cornerback. Perfectly placed ball to Kobe Ross. The ghost of Eddie Robinson strikes again as the G-men fight and claw and tie up this football game. However, something to talk about. The celebration penalty.
Point is no good. Unbelievable.
And now the Alcorn sideline has got to jump. How do you miss the extra point? This is the touchdown. The perfectly thrown ball in the crease to Ross. Ties the football game up. Grambling going up by 1.
The snap and hold look to be good. Mendez, who has done a great job on his kicking duties all day long, and the most important extra point, and can't boot it through.
Opportunity to give your team the lead with 1:07 goes by the wayside now. I want to see. The officials said there was an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, like there was a celebration type.
So after Kobe Ross caught it in the back of the end zone, all of his teammates came over to pile on him, and so now that moves them back 15 yards.
So now this is important. So that's how we got here. The key is now the game is tied. They have to kick off from the 20-yard line instead of the 35-yard line. Alcorn State with any type of decent return is going to get the ball back around midfield. All they need is a couple yards to get in field goal range. That could turn out to be a costly penalty on the celebration, taking off the helmet. I'm setting up a kickoff return here. You get 30-yard return here. What a kick.
What a kick. I'm telling you. What a comeback from Mendez. On the return, Morrison is still on his feet. David Morrison with a great return near midfield, and that's where the Braves will get the ball with less than a minute to go.
Well, I said 2 minutes to go with a timeout is plenty. Well, with a minute to go and 2 timeouts, that's an eternity. Great return by Morrison, realizing what was at stake. Alcorn's got the ball right around the midfield mark. They don't need much. Couple first downs, and they just want to set up a game-winning field goal attempt here if we can.
This is good football on a Saturday evening. Felix Harper with time and incomplete on the outside to Chris Blair.
That's the matchup they've had. Devonair Martin going against Chris Blair. Blair the senior, Martin the sophomore, trying to pick on him a little bit. Just off the mark with that throw. I'd watch out for number 81, Darius Anderson in this situation. They like to get him one-on-one.
Harper goes to the outside, looks for Juan Anthony. Anthony steps out of bounds after the 8-yard completion.
Great play call. They keep giving it to you. You don't have to hit them over the top. They just need positive yardage on these plays. And keep in mind, you can run the football here if it's open, because if you get a first down, the clock will stop. You don't have to call a timeout.
Nico Duffy lined up in the backfield with Harper. Duffy tries to sneak through.
See, clock stops. See, right now it stops. So get up there, you decide whether or not you're going to spike it or time out now. Good job of getting the ball to Duffy, realizing we need 2. He picks up more than that, and the Braves are on the prowl.
Clock starts again. Harper looking, loses the football, it's on the ground.
Call timeout. If you're Alcorn, call timeout.
Harper, very fortunate to hold on to the football. DeAndre Hogues was right there as Harper was holding it like too gingerly right there.
Wrong time to get jiggy with it, huh? Tries to step up. Hogues, great job with a strip sack, but Felix Harper, quick enough to pounce right back on and continue to give possession of the football to Alcorn State.
So in this situation, 2nd and 13, 29 seconds to go. You only have 1 timeout remaining. What calls are you getting in this huddle so that they can be ready?
I'm trying to get my long passing game out there. With it being 2nd down, you got to call some curl routes, some out routes. They continue to do it. Wouldn't be surprised if they took 1 deep shot to the end zone, but understand the situation. If you pick up 10 yards, get up there and clock the football right away. But ultimately, it's what range you feel comfortable with your kicker, and I'm thinking they've got to get the ball to about the 27-yard line.
The teams approach the football.
Well, to your Harper with the quick out on the sideline, catches made.
They are playing smart right now. They're just picking. They're not getting overly aggressive. They're just, hey, if they give us the 6-yard pass pattern, we'll take it. If we get another one of those, maybe a first down, but we'll be in field goal range. Grambling, get your defensive backs up. They've got them too far away. They're giving them a 7-8 yard cushion, which Alcorn recognizes, and they're taking these easy throws. Look at this. Look at the defensive backs. That's too much cushion. They're taking it from them.
Harper going outside again, and the pass complete to Nico Duffy. And Duffy stops the clock just near the 30-yard line. So as it stands now, this would be a 47-yard field goal attempt for Corey McCullough. His long of the season is from 44 yards. He made one from 41 today too, Jay.
Yeah, well, that's why I said they needed those 3 more yards to get to the 27, to get there in their comfort level. But with 19 seconds, why not give your kicker a chance to win it for you here on the road? Gramblin's got a timeout, so probably not going to use it.
The kick is up, and it's no good! No good! .3 seconds remaining as Alcorn State not able to finish this off in regulation.
I'm telling you, Eddie Robinson's favorite son, Doug Williams, is in the building, the ghost of Eddie Robb. This ball's supposed to turn in. It stays straight. And Gramblin's football season is still alive.
Now you better watch out, because the court is ready. And don't you be conjuring up all that stuff, because let me tell you, we're in Louisiana now. Okay? That's all I'm going to say.
That's all you have to say. I mean, this game should have been over for Grambling a couple times over. They're still in it. They're still fighting, and they're showing you what it takes to be a champion. Fighting hard with the defending SWAC champion for the past years.
And Jay, I'm not trying to put the spotlight on us, but what is it about SWAC games when we've called them
overtime.
as of late? We just keep getting overtime games.
Just 3 consecutive overtimes we had in the SWAC.
Four consecutive SWAC.
I know it was Mississippi Valley State Jackson.
Prairie View A&M Jackson State.
Forgot about that one.
Magic City Classic, and now this one.
Do it again. Let's just call it SWAC overtime. Come up with our own show, SWAC overtime.
I love it. I'll just give our viewers a quick reminder of the overtime rules. The coin toss will decide who will go on offense and defense first, and then which end of the field the other team selects. Each team can go for one. You'll start on the 25-yard line.
And this overtime is going to be so unique because both these defenses are so good.
Yeah.
You know, normally you say, okay, let the other offense get it first, put the defense out there, but I think the coin toss is so important. So important because both of these defenses can stop their team from kicking a field goal if necessary.
When you're in these positions, do you prefer to get the ball first or respond and have it second?
No, I want it second.
Okay.
Because there's really no reward. If you get it first and you score right away, not like the NFL, the other team gets to get the ball back too. And they can go for the touchdown.
They get it back, but what I'm saying is, does it give you a boost?
No.
Does it give your defense an extra?
I want to know what I need. Because basically, if you get the ball first and you miss a field goal, then all the other team has to do is kick a field goal to win. So that's why you always say, if you win the toss, put the pressure on their offense first.
Alcorn State perfect in the SWAC East. Coming in at 6-2 overall on the season for Broderick Fobbs and the Grambling State Tigers on the other sideline. They started out the year 0-4, but still have life in the SWAC West. Winners of their last 4.
This is when a guy like Fred McNair, his demeanor takes over. He's like this whether they're up by 30, whether they're in a tough football game like they are right now. As a player, you just go out there and do your job. To play defense, I'm sure.
All right, 16 all. We'll be back with overtime in just a bit.
As selected to play on this end of the field.
Matchup all game long. You go back to that fourth quarter. They hadn't scored since the second quarter, but Grambling State able to tie up the ball game, and then the missed extra point, which would have done it, which would have completed the game. Instead, it sets up Javen Morrison on this great kickoff return. However, Corey McCullough couldn't finish off the game for Alcorn State. So that's how we find our way in the OT period. Alcorn State won the toss, and Grambling State gets the ball first in overtime. Keelan Elder on the carry.
Come on, you know who made that tackle. That's Solomon Muhammad.
Solomon Muhammad. I feel like we need to continue to come up with nicknames for, you know, some of these dynamic players that we've seen in the SWAC. I mean, what's yours for Solomon Muhammad? I'm putting you on the spot.
King Solomon.
Ooh, aha.
He's the king
Well
of
played.
defense there. He's the king of defense.
Came out quick with that one. Back him up 3 yards. On second down. Wright trying to go for it into the end zone and not able to haul this one in, as Devontae Davis was the intended target. Again, one of those balls you just go up and get, but this time Brave secondary was moved over.
Yeah, they need to get some positive yards. Right now, this field goal range is very iffy for Grambling State right now. Would not be surprised to see Alcorn State maybe try to dial up something on the blitz, try and move them a little bit further back. They seem to be content playing a soft zone, keeping everything in front, then making a tackle. Surprised they're not trying to take them out of field goal range.
Wright trying to take off with it, still on his feet, wiggles out, tries to go to the other side, keep his eyes downfield, he's got a man into the back of the end zone, and Dalen Burks with a huge pass breakup. Wow! Richardson was standing right at the back of the end zone. Way to keep your eyes down the field, but even better defense.
The ball just hung in the air too long, and Burks recovered in the nick of time to prevent what would have been a sure touchdown. We say it over and over again, you don't let the ball get close to you. Go get it at its highest point. Don't allow the defense to get back into play.
This one from 45 yards out. And it's up. And it's good. Miguel Mendez makes the field goal and puts Grambling State up 19-16.
Look at him, I'm money. I missed an extra point, so what? Take this long field goal when everybody in the stadium thought he was gonna miss it, but he's telling you, ice in the veins.
But now he's feeling himself. Now he's feeling himself because he's put his team on top for the time being.
And to be a good kicker, you're only as good as your last kick. And the kick that's in front of you, all can be forgotten. He did his job when they needed it just now. And now it's Alcorn State's opportunity to try and win the football game or at least tie it.
Felix Harper, and it's broken up quickly and read well by Devoneer Martin.
That young man's grown up tonight. He's played a whale of a football game. Very active, impressed with his tackling ability, and now we're starting to see the young sophomore break on the football and win that matchup versus Chris Blair. Watch the slant go. If they see you biting on those slant routes, they like to do a pump and go. Have to have discipline.
And just misthrown from Felix Harper. And 3rd and 10 now for the Braves.
Times we've seen Felix Harper in his career as a starter there at Alcorn. He looks a little dazed. I think he's not used to the look he's seeing from Grambling right now. Taking away his first read, and the secondary read hasn't been there. I look for him to go at the top of the screen, though, take a couple positive yards with a quick pass.
Converging in, but somehow he's able to stay on his feet, finds a man, and Nico Duffy was able to pick up the first down.
Oh, my goodness.
They had him. They had him bottled up.
Oh, if they come up with the sack, you're out of field goal range. That's ball game if you get tackled right there. Instead, finds Duffy sneaking out of the backfield, and they pick up the first down. And now they're thinking touchdown instead of field goal.
13 yards after that scramble and toss out from Harper. They give it to Duffy. Duffy won't go down on first attempt. And he's brought down from behind by Wesley Green.
Can the Grambling defense do it one more time? Force Alcorn to settle for another field goal attempt instead of giving up a touchdown. Alcorn's been down here before many times in this game today. They have not produced in red zone offense. We're going to see if they can make a change.
And they came in as one of the best in FCS in putting up points in the red zone. Harper finds his man and incomplete to Chris Blair. Another 3rd down.
They're trying everything. They're moving the pocket. They've tried double moves. They've tried sprints, quick outs, slants. This Grambling defense just won't go away. There's so much underneath help from the linebacking core with the athleticism showing up. Also, be careful of number 29, Joseph McWilliams, defensive back from Grambling in these situations. He's at the bottom of your screen, matched up against number 81. He likes to jump routes.
Need your best play here. And it's whistled, and a flag is out.
False start, offense.
So a critical penalty here, pushing them back 5. They still can get to the 2-yard line to pick up a first down.
I don't know
if necessary. You want to go for the end zone here.
No, I don't think you go for the end zone.
No.
The Grambling knows I think you go to ensure your field goal kicker, that you're going to have an attempt to do it, because you go for the end zone interception, that's ball game. I think that was a big penalty they had there.
Harper going for it, had the man. He had him, just missed him.
Yeah, They brought the tight end in the backfield to act like a fullback. All indications were they were going to run it. They tried to sneak a slant there, and the route was open. Grambling dodged one there.
McCullough on to attempt what would be a 33-yarder. It's up. And it's no good. Grambling State pulls off the upset.
The ghost of Eddie Robinson does it again. Grambling just won't go away. Southern University, the Bayou gonna mean something again.
The overtime victory for Grambling State, who remains alive in the SWAC West. And yes, they will look to November 30th.
McCullough was 6 of 10 on the season from field goals and yanks it to the left.
And afterward, Jay, pandemonium here at Eddie G. Robinson Memorial Stadium.
What a football game.
The Tigers hand Alcorn State their first loss in the SWAC. Meanwhile, Grambling State is eyeing down Southern. They're coming for the Jaguars. Just put them on notice in Baton Rouge.
They are waiting for. And Alcorn, with the loss, still holds the tie-break scenarios against every one of those teams you see there that have 2 losses, except Jackson State, who they played last game of the year. What a year it is for SWAC football.
5 straight wins for a Grambling State team who started off the season 0-4. Congrats to Broderick Fobbs and the Grambling State Tigers for the overtime victory and upset over the SWAC champion Alcorn State Braves. 19-16, your final score. For Jay Walker and our entire crew, I'm Tiffany Green saying it's been a pleasure. So long.
For ESPN's The Undefeated, I'm Jay Walker with this week's For ESPN's The Undefeated, I'm Jay Walker with this week's Gimme 5.
Yeah, this is the Gimme 5 show with Jay Walker and Tiffany. Yeah. You gon' have to give me 5 fingers on it.
All right, how about this? Getting close to the postseason, so let's talk about those guys that have been balling on the football field that I think are contenders for the SWAC Offensive Player of the Year. Number 5, quarterback Ladarius Skelton. Anytime you can have 400 yards of total offense, including rushing for 238 yards from the quarterback position, oh yeah, he's a baller. Number 4, Jordan Bentley. The Magic City Classic, he quite simply was the best player on the football field. Dominating performance, the senior has been getting it done for Cornell Maynard and the Bulldog squad. Number 3, though, may be his competition. Akil Glass, quarterback for Alabama A&M University. Glass is the leading passer in the SWAC. If he can keep it up and Alabama A&M can find a way to fight themselves back into contention for the SWAC championship, look to hear from Glass. Number 2, well, they've been balling all season long. Alcorn State came into the year talking about their quarterback, Noah Johnson. But as the season went on, Felix Harper stepped up and has a phenomenal season for the Braves. He's the reason why Alcorn State has been at the top in terms of being the #1 HBCU for a good portion of this football season. Those guys are good. We all know that. They're pretty good, right? And I love quarterbacks. But in this situation here, for the #1 player in the SWAC, how about this? A young man I call the Tariq Cohen of the SWAC. Oh yeah, let's go on down to Texas and take a look at running back extraordinaire for the Prairie View A&M Panthers. I'm talking about Dewanye Tucker. If you haven't seen him play, you're missing out on a special talent. He can get it done and he can hurt you in so many ways. His future's so bright. He's been the best player of the year in the SWAC, in my opinion. Want to talk about it? Hey, you can always hit me up. Oh yeah, let's not forget about the wide receiver. The only good thing going on in Texas Southern this season has been Donnie Corley. But you want to talk about Jay's Gimme 5 and debate me on it? Hit me up on Twitter at Black College Live. For ESPN's The Undefeated, I'm Jay Walker. Peace.